What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Straight Like That, the podcast. Your host, Instagram's favorite half brown boy, Camille Manzor. That's me. Thank you for tuning in. Today's guest, I've got one of my very good friends. Call him family, call him my brother. Some say we look alike. I'm not too sure about that one because I think he's a little ugly. But there's a lot of accolades I could list about this dude. I'm just going to say a couple. Walk on, turned starter at GW. I don't know his stats off the dome, but I know he scored bare goals and a lot of assists from the wing. So let me introduce my man, Oliver Curry, a.k.a. Chef, a.k.a. a lot of other nicknames that we're just not going to get into right now. What's going on, bro? Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate
Thank you for
it,
dropping out to
man.
Nashville, first of all.
That's
Crazy,
a drive.
bro.
It was a drive. But you know what? Let's just get straight to it. Why soccer? How'd you get into it?
Wow. Yeah, straight into it.
Early years, too.
Early years. So realistically, I guess first time I kicked the ball was just a park down the street.
Okay.
I guess like most kids, my parents just put me into soccer. They put me in a few different sports when I was growing up, and along with, I think it was just baseball that I was playing at the time.
Damn.
But,
And what city is this in?
this was in Santa Monica.
Okay.
Which is
All
where
right, LA.
Yep, LA. Which is where I grew up, and obviously soccer was the one that stuck. I was really lucky because my mom is Italian, so I had that background.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you know anything about footy, you know
Mm-hmm.
what soccer means to Italians and to the country. And so I was super fortunate to spend every summer of my life in Italy.
Yeah.
And
That's, bro, first of all, it's crazy. I'm wearing the Juve top right now. Shout out to Italy ties. That's
out,
crazy. My bad.
And the LAFC ties. Like there's
bare ties,
so
bro.
Many ties, so many
My bad. Go
ties.
ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just saw the
you're
ties
good.
hit.
Yeah. No, so being there every summer from a young age.
Okay. So you go back to Italy in the summers?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Exactly. And so my grandparents, like I said, on my mom's side,
Yeah.
were out there, and so I'd spend 3 months out of the year with them.
Okay.
And I mean, it's different out there, you know. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're always playing. There's
I was
always
about to
opportunities
ask.
to
Yeah.
play the game.
Yeah.
Whether it's organized or just on the street, or like using someone's garage as like a
Yeah.
goal with like a just a whatever kind of soccer ball.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
always a chance to play ball.
Yeah. No, we'll get into that later on, too. So growing up, it was only soccer, basically. So talk to me about the youth level that you were playing at over in LA. Like elementary years, middle school years.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, it might get a little long-winded, but
No, that's fine. The information for the people, they gotta know.
Give them the information.
Yeah.
Right. So I started in AYSO.
Okay.
And I played that, I guess, probably longer than a lot of kids nowadays are playing AYSO.
Okay.
So I played probably until I was about 11 or 12.
Okay.
And then I made the jump over to club. And the first jump that I made to club soccer was, all the different levels, obviously, underneath academy.
Yeah.
I played for a silver elite team.
Okay.
At the time. And, I think nowadays people are so caught up in like what level you're playing at what age.
Mm-hmm.
And especially at like 11, 12, you just need to play the game and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And learn about it.
Yeah.
And I think people are getting so caught up with like, what age am I getting scouted? Or
Yeah,
what age am I getting
yeah.
picked up at for, looked at for college and stuff like that. And so I think it's really important just to be getting touches.
Yeah.
So I played Silver Elite probably until about 16.
Okay.
And then I had the opportunity to play with LA Galaxy Academy in the end, it was
Who?
only just LA Galaxy Academy.
Carson?
We're not going to get into that. Trying to keep it, trying to be good on the podcast, but...
All right, but go ahead.
No, I played with them for about, it wasn't longer than a month, actually. It was super quick. But at the time, I was a sophomore in high school, wasn't driving yet. So my dad was driving me out to Carson 4 or 5 days a week for training.
Mm-hmm.
And just the commitment was so high.
Mm-hmm.
that it realistically just wasn't a viable option for me to continue playing with them. And so then instead of doing that, I played for a Premier level team.
And how'd you get like onto that a Galaxy team?
Yeah, so one of the coaches or like club director at my previous club had a good connect with someone over at the Galaxy Academy.
So you're doing your thing over there, and that's why
I was doing my thing. I was doing my thing for sure. And he basically was like, "Yo, you should go, train with them for a few weeks, see what you think of it." Because it was definitely getting to the point where like I did need to make the jump now to the next level. Too easy. Yeah, I wouldn't even say easy, but like realistically, if you're comfortable, you're not getting better.
No growth.
There's no growth.
No growth.
There's
bro.
No growth.
Easiest way to grow is to get out your comfort zone, but that's just a little 2 cents for y'all.
That's right. That's right. You watched the Shop?
LeBron show?
With LeBron?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it yet.
I think a new episode just dropped with Marcus Rashford. First of all, everyone should go watch that show. In general. But especially footy fans, go watch the episode now with Marcus Rashford. But he said that's one of his favorite quotes.
Yeah, I saw that clip.
Growth happens outside.
And Brown love all that shit, bro.
My favorite quote.
My favorite. And look, you looking at I think Maverick. That's my favorite one right there.
Bro, LeBron knows everything. That's hilarious. The type of humor that LeBron brings is
different, bro.
It's its own thing.
But yeah, okay. So you're doing your thing. You go out to Galaxy. You're training over there. What's the sessions like at 16? What's the competition looking like? Like, are you separating yourself still, or is it now like, wow, people are like just as good as me, if not better?
No, yeah, they're better players.
All?
No, not all of them.
Okay.
Like, I didn't feel out of place.
Okay.
Right? Like, I could hold my own.
Yeah.
And it felt like a level that I could play at, and I probably should have been playing at.
Okay.
But no, there were ballers there.
So what's the difference between the training sessions there than the ones you had from your club? Was it a significant jump?
And we can go into so many different directions.
We can, bro. We got time. Shit.
With this answer, but the difference for me at that point was the pace of play,
quicker,
which everyone talks about.
Yeah.
And which also includes like decision making.
Yeah.
And then the amount of mistakes that happen.
More.
Less.
Shit.
And which brings me to my next point. That's all it is. That's all the game is.
Mm-hmm.
Is how few mistakes can you make?
Mm-hmm.
That's all that footy is.
You think so?
The team that makes more mistakes probably ends up giving away better chances and lose the game. That's all it is.
Damn.
So
that's a point.
At that level,
at 16
though.
So that was the biggest.
That was the biggest thing.
Notable
and then
difference, rather.
Yeah, notable difference, and then I think you asked right before also like what exactly the training sessions were.
Yeah.
Basically every session was some form of possession, rondo, working in tight spaces,
right,
and then expanding out into like 8v8s, 9v9s, 11v11, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So, just taking small concepts in smaller spaces and then expanding into the big field.
They need that more at the youth level, not just at the academy, just all.
100%.
When you go there, the coaches, I'm not going to get into all that too, but the coaches, all they do is just go run, and let's do some shooting drills.
Yep.
As if, how you going to get to the opportunity to take a shot? How you going to get into those creative chances? It's the little things in the middle. Nah, bro. Okay. Yeah. Wow. So, all right, you in Galaxy, commitment couldn't work.
Yeah, just couldn't make
too
it
much
happen.
time, too far.
And I was, like I said, I was a sophomore in high school at this point, which is pretty pivotal time.
Yeah.
Like you start thinking about college a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was still playing high school footy too, because technically I hadn't like signed anything, so I wasn't not eligible to play. Because when you sign academy, you can't play high school. So I was just doing both.
Yeah.
But just school was getting too tough, and like I said, my dad was driving me. Yeah.
So. And how was high school soccer over there? You in LA, bro. LA different out there. First of all, beautiful city.
Beautiful city. I love LA.
You can keep it PG too. But it's a beautiful city. A lot of palm trees though too. I love the palm trees. If you know me,
every time this man comes out to LA, we take drives in Beverly Hills off of
What's
Just
that street
right
called?
off of Rodeo.
Yep.
Right off of Rodeo.
Days before Rodeo, man. That's
with
me.
The palm trees.
Go
Go
on
look
my
at this
Insta-
man's IG.
I was just about to.
He used my car, by the way. My
That
whip.
pick was hard though.
Yeah, it was hard.
That pick was hard, bro. But
Um,
shit, yeah. What were we talking about before? Fuck. Well,
No,
I
LA.
stopped cursing. What were we talking
was
about? Damn, bro. Don't be drinking either, bro, when you do this stuff.
Yeah, seriously. Rough one last night.
Oh shit. High school. High school
yeah,
soccer.
Yeah, that's right.
How was the competition out there?
So I went to Windward in Mar Vista. I think at the time the soccer team was like a lower division.
Okay.
Division 4. Something
Okay.
like that, right? Realistically, the competition level was low.
Okay.
Like, I really enjoyed playing high school footy.
Mm-hmm.
It was so much fun. I bagged a ton of goals. Like, it was just a great time. I mean, everyone wants to play varsity soccer. Like, it's a great experience.
Right.
But in terms of, like what we said before, putting yourself in in uncomfortable situations, that wasn't
You were comfortable
doing that for me. I was comfortable. But that's what I wanted at the time.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's about enjoying the game as well. It doesn't always have to be about what are you doing to
leveling up the entire time.
point.
Yeah. All right, so you're in high school. All this stuff is going on. When did you realize you can go play in college?
Okay.
That you wanted to go play in college?
Yep. Good question. So I don't think there was ever like a point where I realized I wanted to. For me, the end goal was always to play professionally, right?
Oh, okay.
And
when did you
when
realize that? When was that the dream?
Early,
Okay.
like probably like 9, like
Okay.
8 or 9, right?
Yeah.
After a few years of playing, but playing in the U.S. as you start growing up, you start to see kind of like what the ladder is.
Yeah.
In the U.S. to get to the professional level, right? Like you play club growing up, you play high school, whatever it is, you get recruited, you go play in college, ideally Division 1, you get drafted, so on and so forth. I saw it as that, right?
Step-by-step process.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically I was just like chipping away at it, trying to get to each new step.
Yeah.
And so obviously when I got to high school, it was like, okay, I'm playing club, I'm playing high school. Now the next step is playing in college.
Go to college, yeah. Okay. All right, so recruiting. You're in high school, you realize you want to go D1, you want to go play in college. Okay, talk to us about that whole recruiting process.
Yeah.
Who'd you contact? How'd you get in contact with coaches?
Yep.
Any ID camps, world showcases, whatnot,
Yep.
all the details.
So I did a little bit of everything.
Okay.
So first, I'll start with contacting coaches. You find their emails online, just on the
athletic page.
Yeah, exactly. Right, it's there. Sent out a decent amount of emails, just the usual, introduction. Here's my latest highlight reel. Here's when I'm graduating.
Yeah.
XYZ. Right.
Yeah. Standard.
Standard. Looking back on it, I didn't send enough emails.
No
chance. I mean, like I said, the information is there.
Yeah.
These people's contacts are right there. If you're a young player that has aspirations of playing in college, you have absolutely no reason to not send emails.
Yeah.
Just send them.
Yeah. To whoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be it feels intimidating, and it's definitely tough when you're not getting responses because, you get a little down on yourself.
Yeah.
But why not?
Yeah.
Just send as many as you can.
Yeah.
Because at some point, one of them is going to stick.
Reply.
Hopefully.
Right. Did you include anything in these emails that kind of, made you like set yourself apart from all the other ones? Can you imagine all the emails they get?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because Kendall in the last episode was talking about how at the end, like, she would try to put a little personality in there, being like, "Oh, can't wait for you to come see me rock number 9" or something like that. Like, so when people look at it, okay, she got a little personality to it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I would do is, or one of the things you can do, and this will kind of fall into my next point, is the big ID camps for clubs.
Okay.
A lot of them will tell you what colleges might be in attendance.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know that a team is going to be at Surf Cup in San Diego, whatever it is, it's great to end your email with looking forward to seeing you at Surf Cup on this date.
Yeah.
And then you tell them, if you know already, your game times and your fields.
Yeah, give them all the details.
Because now you've given them. The thing is that they got to see you play.
Yeah.
The highlight reel is great, but
Right.
a coach has to see you play in person.
Right.
And so if you already give them that information, and they're already going to be there, you already have a step up.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that brings me to the next point. I did some ID camps, and I mean, ID camps are hit or miss in my opinion, right? Because
And you went to only like California-based ones?
yes, until the George Washington one,
Okay.
which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But it's hard to know, right? Because a lot of them will tell you that there's going to be like 10 different schools that are at the camp.
Yeah.
Ends up only being like 3.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to a like one that's just specific to the school, it's probably going to be like just so many players there, and it's so hard to stand out in something like that. Like, you have to have an absolute day.
Yeah.
And even if you do, you better hope that the coach is facing the right direction and looking at your field and not the other 3,
right.
That have games going on.
Right.
So I don't discourage going to ID camps. I think it's just good if you can get as much information on it as possible, first of all, and secondly, get in contact with the coaches before you go,
Okay.
so that they know you're going.
Yeah, yeah,
and you've
yeah.
already established a little bit of rapport,
Okay.
rather than just showing up, not having spoken to them yet,
Right. Cold.
and trying to do all your intro stuff as you're about to step on the field.
Yeah. You know how many ID camps you went to roughly?
Probably, I'd say probably between like 10 and 20.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah, probably on the lower end of that range,
Mhm.
but somewhere around there.
And how were those experiences? Like, ended up doing your thing and then talking to coaches afterwards, or was it just play and then go home?
It was a mix of both.
Okay.
Some of the smaller ones, or at least the ones that had more schools in attendance, worked out better for me. So, for example, I did one pretty close to LA, just up towards Santa Barbara, and one of the coaches that was there was, I think his name is George Kuntz, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure if he's still with Irvine, but he was the head coach at UC Irvine at the time.
Okay.
And to be honest, I established a really good relationship with him. He liked my stuff, and really, I think it was my own fault. I just didn't follow up enough.
Okay.
And
what do you mean by that?
yep, exactly. So it doesn't just stop at the ID camp,
Okay.
unless you get the offer. Unless a school's
Offer
like
it.
just
Yeah.
right off of the ID camp,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, we want you to come play for us. Unless that happens, you have to establish next steps.
Okay.
What I mean by that is a coach is probably going to want to see you play outside of an ID camp environment.
Okay.
Because an ID camp, you're playing with all new players that you've
Right.
never played with,
chemistry, nothing.
right?
Yeah.
So they want to see you kind of like in your more comfortable environment.
Yeah.
And so you have to get information on where they're going to be, what camps what tournaments are they going to be at.
You
what
gotta keep
opportunity.
going.
You have to keep going.
They're gonna forget about you
It is
quick.
an absolute grind
Yeah.
that I didn't realize until I got towards the end of the process, and now that I'm past it. And
Looking back.
on
Yeah.
it.
During this whole thing, did you have anyone kind of like, I don't want to say overseeing, more like a mentor kind of thing, or giving you like the proper advice? Being like, okay, like imagine like you at 16 hearing you now saying,
Right.
keep following up.
Right.
You know how much of a difference that would have made.
Yeah. I think I had my parents there, obviously, who,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let me take a second and say, like, thank your parents. Be so grateful to your parents. If they are helping you pursue your dream of whether it's playing in college or going beyond that, or even
Anything.
just whatever it is,
Anything, man.
taking you to club tournaments, And in general, just
Yeah,
in life,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But
we talking about
be grateful to your
Yep.
parents.
Yeah.
But in this
Shout out Russ
particular
and
example,
shout out Emanuela.
That's right. My parents were there every step of the way. They never forced me to do anything. They encouraged me, and they told me what they thought was best at times. Like, hey, you should send more emails, or
Right.
have you followed up with this coach, that coach?
Right.
And so I had them. Aside from that,
Because they can only give you so much, but like
because they haven't been in those
exactly,
shoes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And to no fault of their own, obviously.
Right,
they can
right.
only give as much as they can
know.
understand.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess you're having like your high school coach or
Exactly.
club coach or something like that.
Yeah, so I had my high school coach, Nick Webster, who helped me out a little bit with that, and definitely helped me later on with GW as well. But aside from that, it was kind of just me and my parents.
Yeah.
And another thing would be, I would get approached by people who like would say they can get you all the right contacts and connections and get you in front of college coaches, and then they throw some crazy price at you.
Yeah, bro, they trying to monopolize that shit.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
Y'all are ill.
And and they would want the payment up front.
Yup.
Too,
And it's
right?
It's heavy, bro.
It was really heavy. It was really heavy.
For no
they would
reason.
give you all these promises, right?
Right.
And everything sounded great, and then they throw this price at you, and you're like, well, absolutely not. That's not.
I'm not gonna lie,
happen.
bro. That kind of bugs the hell out of me.
100%.
That these little, I don't even call them companies, bro. Scammers.
Yeah.
They promise you a lot of things, bro. And I've seen it firsthand, bro. When I was coaching with the high school team,
Yeah.
a lot of kids want to go D1, and then all of a sudden, these accounts want to say, "Oh, I can help you out.
Yeah.
Let me put you on some game," and then no, it's 200 right here.
Yeah.
And that's that. 200 is little. That is very little.
200
Some
is
of
very
them,
little.
it's
Some of them
a
will
it's a
really
couple
help,
stacks sometimes, bro.
And I'm sure there are some that can probably get you in front of the right people.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's these guys' problem. Like,
Yeah.
that they're having to create these opportunities. Like, I get it. I get the grind.
Yeah.
I think the issue is that we need to find better ways
Yeah.
of finding talent
Yeah.
in the U.S.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
there's
yeah.
so much of it.
There's
so much of it.
Talk to them, bro.
Are you seeing some like the MLS Next Pro tournaments and stuff that are going on?
I've seen it, bro. And
They
then
are
they're going
so
overseas
live, bro.
and they're playing against like the academies over in
and
the
they're
Prem,
balling.
and they're winning.
Yes, they're winning. They're
Bro,
winning.
They need to, yeah.
So
that's another topic, man.
It is a very unique time to be a young player in the U.S.
Yeah.
Probably the best time.
And look
so
how
far in our
quick they're
lifetime.
going overseas, and look what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like the one that's
a
really
whole new topic.
And then
That's a
the
whole
two
new
actually,
topic.
there's two that really stand out, man. It's Brendan Aronson
and Tyler
and
Adams.
Tyler Adams.
1,000%. I mean, yeah.
Red
We're
Bulls,
gonna go
Philly,
with that. Yeah.
go overseas and they kill it right away. Salzburg and Leipzig, and now look, they both linked
Both
at
at Leeds.
Leeds, and they're gonna do their thing, bro.
I think they're going to do really well. I hope. I mean, Tyler Adams is going to have big shoes to fill. And
Yeah.
Brendan Aronson as well.
Yeah,
right? Because
Rafinha
you have
going out.
Rafinha going out, and you have Calvin Phillips going out.
Those
And
are ballers too.
Absolute
Those are
ballers. They're established ballers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
and
yeah.
not to say that Brendan Aronson and Tyler Adams are not, but like they're still young.
Yeah.
So I hope, especially from American pundits
Yeah.
and just the general football population in,
Yeah.
in the country, I hope there isn't this big expectation for them to like perfectly fill those two
Right away
pairs
too.
of
It takes a
shoes.
little time.
Yeah, that's gonna take a second. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they're gonna do really well. But
Bro, I think Tyler Adams underrated.
I think so
Super
too.
Underrated, bro.
I think so too.
The things he does as a six,
Yeah,
like you really got to know the game to understand and appreciate what he do.
completely.
Because he don't be
Completely.
scoring. He's not pinging in like
No.
key passes, but he does all
puts in
that
shifts.
shit in the middle, bro.
He puts in shifts.
Every time we got the ball, rewind a little bit, see where it came from. Him.
Yeah,
Every time. bro.
exactly. And he can play as a right back too.
Yeah.
Reliable right back.
Nah, he's gonna. I'm excited about that. Hold on, we got out of topic.
That's all right though.
That's crazy.
Why y'all-
But what we?
why
Oh,
y'all
and
need-
also, have you seen Aronson's brother, the younger one?
Yeah, he's cold.
Bro scored like 6 goals. In,
He's where is he? Is
he in Philly,
too?
yeah. But
he's
apparently he
Philly
going to Leipzig too.
too. Yeah.
Or not Leipzig, the Salzburg. Yeah,
He's cold, bro.
that's crazy.
Yeah, both of them.
But okay, so what we talking about, man? We talking about the ID camps.
We're talking about the
How'd
ID
that work?
camps.
We talked about your coach. Nick?
Yep. So I guess we're just talking about all the different ways of
Getting the
Getting
attention.
to the-
Oh,
yeah,
and then we
getting
talked
to
about the
attention.
scammers and stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay. So, all right. You're what? 'Cause I've heard this a lot too, that junior year is like your most important year in high school, recruiting wise. So let's talk about the activity. Your
Man.
recruiting activity, junior, and we'll bring in like summer going into senior year.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so first thing I'll say is, my guess, and from what I'm seeing, is that year, or the important year, so call it, has probably dropped like 2 years.
Oh, so it's
Like
earlier.
probably like 9th grade now
Yeah.
is already this like,
You gotta go.
you know, doors start opening up
Yeah,
completely because
yeah.
you're hearing so many people getting offers from like the Stanfords or the UCLAs or whatever it is, right? Like way early days. And so I say that to say the process can never start too early,
Yeah, obviously.
right? So just in terms of getting in contact with coaches, getting yourself
Right.
in front of them. But yeah, so for me, junior year, I definitely saw it as that.
Okay.
Not only on the soccer side of things, but I'm sure for you as well. It's kind of like you start taking your SATs,
Yeah,
ACTs,
yeah.
right?
They talk
you start
about college
getting
prep
prepped.
stuff. Yeah.
You're
AP
really starting to
start
get prepped.
rolling
Yeah,
in. Yep.
exactly, right?
Yep.
Like it starts to feel real.
Yeah.
From day one, junior year, you're like, wow, college is like,
Wow.
wow, college basically around the corner.
Yeah. Oh, and you get your license? I mean, at least in North
Get your
Carolina
license.
at 16.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, same here. What do you mean in North Carolina? Isn't that the whole country?
No, bro.
Yes, it is.
I swear, New Jersey, it's like 7.
No, it's not.
Hold on, bro. I gotta look that. I swear. I'm looking that shit up, bro. License, age in the U.S. Yeah, bro. See, look, it varies. You can get your permit in Alaska at 14. God damn. Bro, that's ice.
I can barely see over the
Nah, damn, bro.
the steering wheel.
Yeah, bro. Anyway, fuck that.
But yeah, so
Yeah, junior year
a
heavy.
lot of changes.
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
changes, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you start having a little bit of freedom, a little bit of independence.
Okay.
But yeah, from the footballing side of things, it was a big ID camp year.
Okay.
I think when I spoke with UC Irvine, it was that year.
Okay.
I got a little bit of interest from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo,
What?
which is, I know, you're like, who is that? But actually, they're a very good team.
Really?
Yeah, they're up a little bit up north,
D1?
D1. But again, the follow up.
Yeah.
I didn't do enough follow up
Yeah.
there, and it just kind of fell through. So, I mean, I guess just fast forward into early senior year,
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing a lot of my fellow classmates, not in footy, but in other sports, starting to get offers and starting to get,
Y'all had some
real
athletes, right?
interest. Yeah, we had some athletes for sure. Austin Webster made it to Notre Dame. He played football there. Was a walk-on as well, like me. Turned captain.
Damn.
First walk-on captain since Rudy.
Dang, they made a
at
whole ass
Notre Dame.
movie on him too,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, exactly. They did make a movie. But yeah, so it was tough for me. It was starting to get tough because I was getting closer and closer to the point where I had to make that next jump. I wanted to play Division I,
Yeah.
and it wasn't happening.
Okay.
There were no options for me.
Okay. So you had no offers, what, beginning of senior year?
No offers.
Okay.
Zero.
Okay.
I had.
And was D1 always the goal? Like, or would you have been okay going D2, D3?
I would have been all right
JUCO,
going.
whatever.
Yeah, I would have been okay going to any of those other options as long as it still fit my academic
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course.
needs, desires, right?
Right.
First of all, and secondly, just like financially,
Yeah,
made
it
sense,
makes
all
sense.
that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Oh, so bring it back to junior year real quick.
Okay.
We went on a trip, our high school,
Okay.
our grade, sorry,
Okay.
our junior grade. We went to the East Coast. We saw a bunch of different colleges.
Okay.
one of the colleges we saw was George Washington. It was the
Damn.
first school I saw.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Excited to see
Yeah,
what
yeah,
what
yeah.
else is out there.
Right. Right.
And we went to Maryland,
Okay.
College Park,
College Park.
right after.
Okay.
I was like, yo. It's alive out here, bro. Maryland College Park. Man, hey, if you can go play Division I soccer anywhere, Maryland is high.
They're
The
good
whole
though, right?
stadium they have set up. They got the fan section behind the goal.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a very professional environment.
Yeah.
That
They're serious
along
about
with
the game.
Akron, the North Carolinas,
Yes.
right?
Yep, yep.
You know, that's a big program. But anyway, we also saw Amherst College.
Yep. Up in what was that? Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And excuse me, they really wanted me.
Amherst.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were really
It's a good school,
interested in
too,
me.
academically.
Very good school.
Okay.
Which was my demise. My grades were not high enough to go to Amherst. And so
Damn. So academics really played a role.
yeah.
Heavy.
In
that
that
one.
one in
Yeah.
particular, yes. And then the other offers that I had, I mean, that technically wasn't an offer because, like I said, academically didn't work out.
Right.
But the offers that I did have, the big one was from Occidental College, in just like right outside of LA. And they.
And when did you get that offer?
I got
So I
this.
could this little timeline going.
Yeah. I think this was like mid senior year.
Okay. Wow.
After
that's-
I had submitted early decision to GW.
All right. So you were applying to schools as a regular student.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I mean,
So ED means early decision for those of y'all who don't know. And if you do ED to GW, what's that mean? If you get in,
You're
you have
going.
to go.
you're going.
Okay. All right.
Because there's two different kinds of early,
Yeah,
early
submission.
application. Yeah, whatever. Right.
It's like early action, so you
Early
can do it
action.
early,
Correct.
but you're not binded. You don't have to go.
That's
and then
right.
ED, if you get in, you gotta go.
Exactly. And
I think there's ways to get out of it though, but like
there
majority of the
are.
time you're going.
Yeah. I mean, like financially,
Right,
whatever
right,
it
right.
may be, right? Like you can definitely get out of it.
So
But,
when you applying ED, that's basically saying like, I'm here.
that's where I want to go.
Yeah. So you wanted to go to GW.
I really want to
As
go
just
to
a
GW.
student?
It's just as a student.
Okay.
But the other
Okay.
factor on top of it was the fact that it was a Division I school. It wasn't a like top Division I program, and so I had the confidence of being able to try and walk onto the team.
Okay.
Right. Because I think if I had done like a UCLA or one of these big programs,
It'd been tough.
Maryland, it's really tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough to be a walk on.
Have a chance. Yeah.
Have a chance.
Okay. So you get the offer from that school in California.
Yeah, it was an offer to play soccer, run cross country, and run track.
Oh, you about to be a 2-sport athlete there?
Yeah.
Damn.
So, but it was Division III, so
Okay.
it's going to be a little bit less of a commitment from each.
Okay.
So, like for example, I think in the off season for soccer, keep going between soccer and footy.
I know. It's because of this country, but
I know.
Anyway.
It's football. Goddamn. In the off season for footy, at GW, we trained every day.
Yeah.
Like we were in season.
Yeah.
In Division III, I think it's a lot less. And so if you want to be a 2-sport athlete,
you can.
you can.
Okay.
And they gave me honestly an incredible offer.
Okay.
I would have had very little student debt at the end of it.
Okay, scholarship money.
Okay. If I had gone to Occidental. And I can't say the same about GW.
Okay.
Definitely got some cash to pay off, but we're gonna be all right. Getting our bread up.
All right. So you get the offer. You then what? Get into GW, obviously.
Yeah.
When do you hear about that? You hear
This was
before or after the offer?
from Occidental.
Yeah.
I think it was before I got the offer from Occidental.
Okay.
but I got the offer from Occidental before I like fully decided that I was going to GW. Like that it all made sense.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That I talked it over with my parents, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then you say no to them, obviously. Decide to go to GW.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to us about how you walked on.
Yeah.
Who'd you contact?
Yeah.
What did you have to do? And then when you heard that, they're giving you a walk-on spot.
Yeah. So at this point, it was a make or break moment, right? Like I was going to this school.
Yeah.
So there was no other option.
Right.
Right? Like I
have
had
to
to find a way to
Yeah.
make this work.
Yeah.
And I think realistically, if I hadn't made the team, I wouldn't have stayed at GW.
You would have transferred out.
I would have gone somewhere else to play. I
Damn.
probably would have like tried to find a way to go to
Back.
Occidental and played there, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, as soon as I had figured out I was going to GW, it was a race to get in contact with anyone,
Okay.
any of the coaches
On the staff.
Okay. And so I just started sending out emails. But obviously the difference with my emails was the fact that I was going to the school now,
Yeah.
which a lot of people can't say,
Yeah.
right? Like when you're doing the whole recruitment
Yeah,
process.
yeah.
So I thought that this was going to help me stand out a little bit,
Right.
Oh, this kid's coming to the school already.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a highlight reel. Take a look real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was going to be a little bit easier than it had been.
Mm-hmm.
In all those years of trying to get in contact with coaches.
Right.
And fast forward to, when did you go to CI?
June.
It was
early
right?
June. I went to the first
Okay.
one. CI's orientation, by the way. It's called Colonial
Inauguration. It was fun.
I had fun.
I had a good
I
time.
met a lot of people.
Yeah, I met a lot of people.
Yeah.
Good people that I still know to this day.
Can't say the same. I know like one person.
Still know a couple.
Anyway, all right. So yeah, I go to CI early June. You go. So at this point, you going in as just a student.
Yeah.
There's
just
no
student.
no communication back.
No communication back.
Okay.
I'm going to the athletic department, like trying to get in there to talk to someone. I cannot get in contact with this coach. I literally cannot find this man. And I think it was my parents. The parents had their own little.
Mine didn't go. I went by myself.
Okay, so my parents went. I think there was some kind of thing for parents as well.
Okay.
But they met like someone who was in charge of staff or something.
Okay.
I don't know, just relations. And I guess he was able to just kind of flag my email or give the coach a heads up or something, right?
Yeah.
And so, again, this is mid-June.
Mm-hmm.
I finally get a reply from Craig Jones, head coach at George Washington. Mm-hmm. Says he's happy that I'm going. I still have the email. I'm gonna find it at some point.
Hey, we're gonna pull this up. I'm gonna have the voiceover, and we're gonna read the email.
We're gonna read the email. But yeah, he says, we got to see you play.
Yeah.
Like I've said, they got to see you play.
Right.
And so he tells me that he gave me two options.
Okay.
He gave me, we have an ID camp.
Okay.
It's a 1 day camp it was end of July.
Okay.
You can either come to that or you can wait for, it was called the official walk-on tryout date.
Okay.
Thank God I went to the ID camp. Thank God I went to the ID camp.
Why you say that?
And I'll come back and talk about the ID camp.
Okay.
But the reason why I say that is because fast forward to now, I'm on the team, and I see this walk-on tryout day. It's like 2 months into our season.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get all these medical forms. Basically do a full.
So it's a bigger process, and you're not even playing that same season.
Exactly.
Okay, I got you.
Or you are, but like you're coming in halfway through.
And that's too late.
And I think we had maybe, in my 4 years, we had one player end up making it through that.
Who?
But it's
Younger or older?
Ferris. Teo.
Oh, he was the younger kid.
Younger.
Yeah.
But he was also playing club.
Okay.
But anyway, it's just there's a lot of hoops that you have to jump through.
Yeah.
When you're doing it that way. And so obviously when we got that email back, I say we because it was my parents were super involved in the process.
So ID
it was a no-brainer.
Yep.
It was a no-brainer. We had to go.
So you flew from LA to DC cross country for orientation. Flew back
for a month. Right. I went back. I trained.
Yeah, got yourself
ready for a day.
For a singular day.
So
you leave LA what in the morning?
No, we left. In the morning, but it was the day before the camp.
Okay.
Right. So we fly out. It was just me and my dad.
Okay.
Damn, I'm getting emotional talking about this, man. Just thinking back on it.
Hey,
but,
you're so light skinned, bro. All right, so you fly there the day before with Russ.
And then, so day of the camp, it was, to be fair, it was a very well-run ID camp because it was like 30 kids total.
Okay.
Small.
Okay.
Which is massive because...
Then you could really stand out.
Yes, you get exposure.
Yeah,
you get exposure. Like, everyone realistically is playing on the same field, so the coaches are all looking. They're watching you the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, it wasn't a sure thing, but I had a little bit of confidence ready again because I was going.
Right.
And now I was going to be in front of them.
Right,
right.
So they're really looking at you.
And so I was really looking at, they were really looking at me. And so I did my thing.
You did well?
I did really well.
No pressure?
I didn't feel pressure. Like,
okay.
Also because it was small.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I didn't feel this need to, like, stand out in specific moments. I was just like, it's a training day.
Yeah, just do your thing.
Just do my thing.
Okay, so it's done, and what happens? The ID camp is over.
ID camp is over. I knew I'd played well enough
for something.
Yeah. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know? And at the end of the camp, the coaches or every participant sat down with one of the coaches.
Right.
Whether it was head or one of the assistants.
Right.
Everyone sat down and got feedback on their day, and kind of start that follow-up process, just to learn a little bit more about the player and what they have coming up. Because obviously most of the kids that were there were probably going into their senior year of high school.
Right. Younger heads.
I was the only one that was
going into college.
Going to GW. And so I sat down with Craig and or with Coach Jones, and he basically just said, did super well, and we'd like to have you in for preseason. We'd like to have you on the team.
Dang. So he told you on site that you made it
on the spot.
Wow.
Didn't tell me he was gonna call me in a week or
nothing
follow
right
up.
there.
Said want you in for preseason.
Wow. So right there you made the team.
Made the team.
Okay.
Right then and there. Yeah.
And then what? You flew back to LA.
Walked over to my dad, cried. Said we made it.
Yeah.
And this was end of July, so I flew back to LA. Kept training more
Obviously.
now because I was like, damn, now we're going into preseason Division 1. I have no idea what to expect. Rest of the heads that were on the team were coming in, had the whole ass program the past 2 months. What the hell? Just going off a whim. So
you have to you arrived to campus early for preseason.
Well, I flew out 2 weeks later.
Yeah, you went back.
I went back to LA, and then 2 weeks later I flew back to DC
though.
and moved.
Yeah.
I think both my parents came.
Okay.
Just to help me get settled or whatever.
Yeah.
And preseason got started, and I met the entire team the first day of preseason.
Yeah. When you went in too, so like your class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big up Quab.
What's up, Quab?
Big up Chris Lawal.
Yes,
Conning, man, all y'all. You get there and you're playing with the team and stuff, training and whatnot. Did you feel like, damn, like there's a gap between me and the guys that they brought in? Or you like, nah, like
to be fair,
I'm at this level with them.
I was at that level.
Yeah?
Yeah, it felt really good. I was
that must have been a confidence boost too.
It was a major confidence boost. Like I remember we got there a few days before actual preseason started because it was encouraged for captains practices, right? Just get some touches and
build some chemistry.
Yeah, build some chemistry.
Yeah.
And I remember we played small sided, like just half the field, 77s, 88s, whatever it was. I was like, damn, this is right where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And everything felt perfect.
Yeah.
And same with actual preseason. Like,
Yeah.
fitness-wise, it was tough.
Right.
But it wasn't anything, like, crazy. I was super fortunate because my entire freshman year, I didn't get hurt, which is rare for me. Because the other 3 years, I had at least one injury. And, yeah, man. We got to our first preseason game. We played, what school was it?
Shit don't even matter, honestly.
Nah, it doesn't matter. It was in Pennsylvania.
All right, you go there.
Division 1 school, yeah. But we go
And
up
you
there
play?
and I started.
Wow.
Started my first preseason game.
Where out wide?
Left wing. Should have bagged. Should have scored.
Yeah?
Within like first 15 minutes.
You got a clip of it?
Not like readily available, but I'm sure I can find it.
You can find it?
Yeah. It was
Okay.
one where like.
Find that and send it to me. We're gonna put it in the video.
Video too, but it was one where I should have tucked her in back post. Just
What'd you do?
I tried to square it.
Oh. Not selfish enough.
Tried to square it. Not selfish enough at that point.
Damn. Okay, so you're there on the team. When I guess because you say you got some money there though, right? They gave you a little bit of
I
scholarship
got
money.
financial aid.
Okay. So you never
the
scholarship.
Team never got me in. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I got it now. All right, so you're there. We're just gonna fast forward the 4 years. 4 years, we're blessed. You did your thing. Had some memorable moments. Give me
captain.
3.
Yeah.
Give me 3 memorable moments. Actually, we'll do this. 3 off the field, kinda. Not necessarily goals and stuff. Calm down, bro. not on the field related, and then give me a goal, your favorite goal, or a pass, or something stupid you did, or something like that. So 3 with the team, 3 on the field.
Okay. Wait, sorry, but the off the field is still with the team?
Yeah, anything, anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, going to Barcelona our
Okay.
freshman year, saw Barca versus Rayo Vallecano. Messi scored 3
Damn.
or 4.
Damn.
Either Hattie or 4. Insane.
Yeah, see that shit live
Yeah,
too.
insane to see it in person, right?
Yeah.
So that was 1. 2, not even really a specific moment, but just like being on the team is its own fraternity.
Yeah.
Those are your brothers for 4 years. You go through everything together.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And so just having that and just some of the stuff we did, just hanging out, going out.
Yeah.
It was the absolute best.
Hey, going out with them is crazy too. This boy
decent
brought me
time.
around senior year because I out early on good behavior. If you know, you know.
We were live. Senior year, we were live. South 809, also known as Galchester.
Hey, I gotta put that clip in there
Put
too.
that clip in there.
When they get the chance, they
So,
turn up. They
fun-
they really turn up.
The clip that Camille's gonna put at this point of the conversation, it's funny because you see one of our keepers at the time, Jason Ray, wearing an LAFC shirt.
Oh, fitting.
Yeah, because it was
Wow.
the inaugural season.
I didn't know
But anyway, so I'm gonna leave it at 2 for my hamstring tightening up right now. I'm dead ass. So I'm gonna leave it at 2 for off the field.
All right, yeah, that's cool.
3 on the field. Winning A10
Okay.
regular season championship.
Okay.
My sophomore season, crazy. So we were at St. Louis. We knew that if we won, we got at least home draw for the first round of playoffs.
You said this was away at St. Louis?
Away at St. Louis.
Wow. Shout out St. Louis. Hey, I'm interrupt real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out my girl Celine. Going to med school
Hey,
there.
congrats,
Big ups,
Celine.
big ups. We doing big things.
Big time.
All right, go ahead. You over there?
But what
If
we
you win-
didn't know is that this other result elsewhere, I forgot what teams were playing, but if like this one team lost, we clinched regular season
Outright.
outright.
Oh, dang.
And I think it was an overtime goal.
On the other
No,
game.
ours.
Oh.
Garrett Hines scored a penalty. overtime, and it was golden goal. In college, it's golden goal.
Oh, dang.
So the end of the game, and we all run on because we like hyped about the win, and then we realized we're regular season champions.
Right there.
Right then and there. And at the time, Drake had dropped "What a Time to Be Alive" with big rings on it.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Captions for days, bro. How fitting. That man Drake don't miss.
So yeah, that's
So that was the first
That's
one.
the first
A10
one.
championship. The
Yep.
way it went down, crazy.
Yep.
All right.
Second one would be my goal versus St. Joe's our junior year. I think I was just coming back from a hammy. We were 1-0 up. Second half. It was one of those where like we felt all right, but they could easily get a goal.
Get a quick one,
changes
yeah.
the whole dynamic of the
Yep.
game, you know?
Yep.
And I came in, and I think within like 5 minutes scored this lovely.
Hey, send me the clip. I'm gonna put that thing in there.
I will send you the clip. That one I have readily available. Peep the Gram, Oliver Curry, 2 Y's at the end of it. I follow back. But yeah, oof, side volley. Yeah, top.
Ooh, that's
You
the
know
one
what I'm talking about.
at the Vernabelle.
Yeah.
Yes, it was bouncing.
Yeah. My God.
Hey, the celebration was kind of crazy because you flew.
I flew, bro.
Bro,
Because
you kept going up.
I still thought I was Neymar at the time. So
Okay.
that's number 2.
Is that your favorite goal that you scored at GW?
Oh man.
Too many options, huh?
No. It's not that many. But that's a good one.
It's gotta be.
We might have to do a top 3 goals. That one, the free kick at VCU, that was supposed to be a cross, but it was one of those into the back post that if no one touches, the keeper gets confused and
just
it
freeze and just go.
in.
Yeah.
And then, but my third moment on the field,
Could even say when you got captain.
yeah, bro.
Because I was with you that night too. You came over to mine when you got captain. And
We were live that night. We were live that night.
I seen the foam.
The phone was pinging that night. Let's just say that. But yeah, no. I remember that day. It was.
How many captains, by the way?
We ended up having 2.
And both seniors?
Yep, it was me and Chris Lawal. Shout out, my brother.
My brother.
But yeah, they announced it right before training. I got emotional for sure, just because it was just like I was saying about my ladder, it was just another step in my ladder.
Kept going.
I knew first step was getting to D1.
Mm-hmm.
Next step was becoming a starter. Next step was becoming hopefully a captain or just like a very integral part of that team.
Yeah.
And then so on and so forth.
And you accomplished all that.
And I accomplished it
Yeah.
as a walk-on.
That's a lot.
With my parents' support, like getting to
Yeah.
share all that, big
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Big time.
Damn. Wow. Caught me off guard now. Fuck.
You good.
All right, so you did your 4 years, and at what point, I guess, while at GW, did you think you want to go play like professionally, whether it's overseas, whether it's MLS?
When did I
USL?
realize I wanted to do it?
Yeah. Or was that
Way
you were
early.
saying?
This
Okay,
was
even before.
This was way before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I guess let me tailor that question then. While at GW, when did you
start making the steps?
realize that you can do it, and how did you go about it and stuff like that? Because we shifting gears now. We're doing a little post grad. We want a timeline.
Right. No, totally. I guess it was right after my senior season ended. Ended not on the best note. Like I think we finished 3rd, and then had a home game for first round of playoffs.
Yeah.
Played Rhode Island.
Me and Kyle came.
Yep.
Yeah, we were there.
And
I
I tweaked my hammy last game of the season at St. Joe's, actually. Had a goal and an assist. Like, damn, had a good game. And then just like did a celebration too that the camera didn't pick up on. I was sick. But so then I was like questionable for the game versus Rhode Island, and I played.
Y'all had a lot of
100%.
injuries too, though.
Yeah, we had a lot of injuries, and they ended up winning off of a corner kick.
Yeah.
I think it was early too.
It was. I remember that they scored early, and then the
first,
dude
like, 10 minutes.
cracked his skull. Remember that?
I do remember that. Holy wow.
Yeah, that was like a
Bro, I
30-minute
completely
break.
forgot about that.
Yeah, he cracked the skull. And I remember,
I remember the sound and everything.
it was you hurt, Oscar hurt, Quab was hurt, I think.
There's a lot.
Yeah, it was
So,
like
Anyway,
Dang.
season ended, and through a connection of my mom's, I was introduced to an agent in Italy, who said he had some good connections and said, she and D. And so I signed with him. I signed a 1-year contract with this Italian agent with the idea that I was going to go in the off season, the European off season, which was summer, and hopefully go into preseason with the team
in Italy.
Okay. And
you could have made that work because you got the passport.
Yeah. So exactly right. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, dual citizenship with the passport, which means that especially in the lower divisions of European teams, it's massively important.
Yeah,
because you don't
it's
take
not
up
an
a
international spot. Yeah.
And as you get lower in the divisions, there's fewer and fewer of those
Right,
spots.
right.
So you really got to be a baller if they're going to take you on.
Right.
On a
non-EU passport, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you ever go out there?
Say it again.
You ever go out there for the trials and stuff?
Yeah. So I went in end of July.
After graduating.
Okay. After we had a time that senior spring. Enjoy these years.
Hey, college flies, by the way. Yeah, but take care. Remember, you go to college for one reason: it's academics. Everything else is secondary. Okay.
Education.
All right, keep that knowledge up. Anyway, you go to Italy. July.
Italy, get there.
Okay.
Agent has nothing set up.
Damn.
No teams. He's telling me, I'm talking to this team, talking to that. I'm like, bro, I signed with you in December.
Yeah. It should have been already
early
in place.
August.
Yeah.
Well, I should have landed here, and it should have been. I won't say should have, but if I'm signing with an agent, like
at least
there's
something,
an expectation, right,
that comes
to have
from
something set up,
right.
And so I thought the idea was that I was gonna be there for 2 weeks, the first, hopefully 3-4 days, whatever, with this team. Then you'll spend 3 days with that team, and maybe the first 3 days go really well, and you end up staying with that team, and so on and so forth. And nothing had been set up. And so
did anything ever get set up?
Nothing got set up. He sent me to do a medical, and then I went to training the next day. Ended up being the wrong medical that the agent sent me to, because you got to do the one where like you're under duress.
Yeah.
And they
you didn't do that.
Didn't have me do that.
Where did you get this trial at?
So this was a Serie D team called Trastevere, and it's right outside of Rome.
Okay.
It realistically would have been the equivalent of playing for like nowadays like a USL League One team.
Okay.
USL League One. Money wise and exposure wise.
Yeah.
Rough equivalent.
So you never even actually got to train.
Never even touched field.
So you got dang. So then what happened? You stayed in Italy with hopes of that, or
stayed in hopes of this guy finding me a team. Didn't end up happening. And so I came back to LA.
And then kept training.
To LA and kept training, and
anything shake over here?
I played with a semi-professional team called Cal FC, and there was another team in the same league at the time called Cal United, which is now a NISA team.
What is that?
It's like.
Is that below USL 1?
Yeah.
But is that professional team?
It's considered professional, but it's like NASL.
Okay.
It was like the equivalent of NASL.
Yeah. Okay, so you're playing there, you're training, you still in hopes.
Yeah, still have hopes. But I mean, at a certain point, you got to be realistic with yourself.
Yeah.
And especially if you have like real career aspirations.
Yeah.
Outside of the game.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, like there's this pressure to get started early and earlier. Right. So I'm not telling anyone to like, totally just give up on your dream and just start working, but I just felt that the time had come for me to kind of just leave the game behind.
Okay.
I wasn't sure at the time yet if it was going to be playing wise, if it was going to be a permanent move. Yeah. Or if I just needed like a few months away from it.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a permanent move.